Welcome to your weekly staff meeting, hosted by me, Katie Prangy, founder of Katie Prangy Training and Development, your on demand, relevant training source for staffers who work for an elected official. Let's learn something.
Hey guys, this is Katie Prangy from Katie Prangy Training and Development with your weekly staff meeting. Today I thought I'd come to you from my car because I know a lot of you are spending a lot of time on the road right now. Just a couple very short weeks left until election is upon us. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, thank God for that. So keep going. You're almost there. Today, we're not going to talk about the election, though. I do want to talk about whether or not the media weaponizes no comment. So I have some strong feelings on this, and it's based on a couple years worth of experience working as a comms director, and whether or not, and the idea of whether or not you respond to the media with no comment or not. So when your boss is asked to comment on something, it's usually to be, you're being asked to contribute to become part of a story that's already in progress. And you have two options. Or you have three options. You can respond, you can say no comment, or you can just not respond at all. So that's the part of this I'd like to talk about today is, do you answer with no comment, or do you just not respond at all? Over the last couple of years, I have leaned towards not responding at all rather than responding with no comment. And that is because I believe that the media has begun to weaponize the words no comment to meet their own bias and or to fit the narrative of what they believe your boss's commentary should be as a part of the story. And the way that that works is that sometimes the media will say, Senator X, I would say Senator Prangy would not comment on this story, rather than saying Senator Prangy did not have a comment for this story, or Senator Prangy did not comment. They say Senator Prangy would not comment. Now, what does that do? The words would not sound obstructive. They sound uncooperative. They sound combative. And if that's what fits the media's narrative of your boss in relationship to the story, it is setting a tone that is very different than saying no comment or did not comment. Now, if you don't comment at all, the media will likely say something to the effect of, Senator Prangy did not respond to a request for comment at time of publication, or something along those lines. Now, if a reader reads would not comment, they get a certain feeling. They hear a certain tone from that when they hear Senator Prangy did not respond at time of press, they draw their own conclusions. They can think, well, maybe the media didn't give Senator Prangy all that much time to respond, or maybe they weren't able to respond, or maybe Senator Prangy just didn't know what to say yet. It's a very different feeling than would not comment. Now, it can go that much deeper. So a couple years ago, I actually had a terrible situation with a reporter whom I was actually trying to form a relationship with. And I called her back and told her that my boss did not have a comment because the story she was writing was on a local issue. And she was a brand new reporter, young, fresh out of J school. And I wanted to be friendly to her. I was trying to kind of educate her that this really wasn't a state issue and that my boss didn't have a role. She wrote the article, and boy, did I discover her bias real fast. She said that Senator would not comment because it was too much of a local issue. Oh my gosh, did that article light fires throughout our district. For a year, we dealt with the aftermath of that because it made my boss sound cold, callous, like he didn't care, like he wasn't doing his job. And I called her on it and I said, that is not what I said. I said that the senator did not have a comment. And she said, well, that's not the way I took it. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't insert your bias into the article. I said no comment. Well, she was not around all that much longer after that article came out because, frankly, I never responded to her again, except in writing on very few occasions. And other legislators saw what happened, so they stopped responding to her too. My point is that the media does have bias. The media does, some of them have narratives that they are trying to portray, and you have to decide as a staffer whether or not you are going to say no comment or just say nothing at all. Please consider whether or not you believe the member of the media that you are dealing with will weaponize those words. That's your takeaway or that's your staff meeting for this week. I hope this is helpful. As a team, talk about it. Do you think you have reporters out there that will weaponize the words no comment? Or does everybody just get along? It's a great question to talk about together. And it's also a great question for you to discuss with your boss as you set policy for communications and think about ways to deal with all kinds of different inquiries from the media. So I hope that serves you, and I will see you next week. See you soon.
Hey, if you like today's training on reactive communications, be sure to check out my class, How to Do Communications for the Political Staffer. This is an epic masterclass that will teach you everything you need to know to do communications in your job. Come on over to katieprangy.com to check it out.